This is President Joe Biden. During his joint address to Congress, Biden bragged about how great the economy was doing during his first 100 days in office.
The economy created more than 1,300,000 new jobs in 100 days. More jobs in the first 100 days than any president on record.
Yes, job growth after the worst pandemic in 100 years is great. But notice how Biden is phrasing it. He's saying that more jobs were created during his first 100 days as president when compared to every other president during their first 100 days. This isn't an achievement, of course. This is simply Biden being in the right place at the right time.
Here's what we mean by delivering for the people. We created, in the first 100 days, 1,300,000 new jobs. 1,300,000 jobs in 100 days. That's more new jobs in the first 100 days of any president in history.
Okay, now Biden is claiming that the administration created those jobs. And if you think I'm taking him out of context, here's a clip from May 6th.
In the first 100 days that I became president, we have created more jobs in that period of time than any administration in history.
Biden and his administration didn't create those jobs. Those jobs were created despite him being president. But he's going to try and take credit for it anyway.
But the way I look at that, that's just a down payment getting us back for the American Recovery Act.
Biden just called the American Rescue Plan the American Recovery Act, which was a bill that was signed by Barack Obama back in February 2009. But whatever. Biden screwing up his prepared remarks during every single speech is a feature, not a bug. Okay, moving on. Anyway, Biden is getting his job numbers from the Bureau of Labor Statistics from February and March numbers. And notice how optimistic Biden is about the recovery.
Why tax and spend so much when the economy is still recovering?
That's the reason why it's recovering, because we're investing. Look how rapidly it's recovered since we passed the last piece of legislation. And that legislation was $1.9 trillion.
It's just a down payment, this rapid recovery. It's all because of me, Dr. Jill Biden's husband. Anyway, before the April jobs report was released, economists predicted that the US economy likely created nearly 1 million jobs. Reuters wrote, the Labor Department's closely watched employment report on Friday will be the first to show the impact of the White House's $1.9 trillion COVID-19 pandemic rescue package, which was approved in March. It is likely to show the economy entered the second quarter with even greater momentum, firmly putting it on track this year for its best performance in almost 4 decades. So on the morning of May 7th, just moments before the release of the jobs report, the Morning Roundtable on CNBC was pumped and made some lofty predictions. I think it's going to be upwards of 1 million, 1.3 million, 1.5 million, 1.15 million. Oh my God, Steve, just tell us the numbers already.
Wow, it just came across. Give me a second here. We have the number here. Just came across.
Uh-oh.
Sorry about that. It came across very quickly here. It looks like 266,000.
Whoops.
It looks like it was a big disappointment at 266, but maybe I have that wrong. Let me double check the Bureau website here. 1 second. Yes, 266 is correct. Unemployment change, little change to 6.1%.
Now, while some might think that these dismal numbers might be a fluke, there are indications that they're probably not that far off. The NFIB Small Business Jobs Report showed that a record 44% of small business owners reported having job openings that they could not fill. Meanwhile, Biden had previously scheduled a press conference to celebrate what was assumed to be impressive job growth. But he showed up a half hour late because they needed to rewrite his statement. Womp womp.
This morning we learned that our economy created 266,000 jobs in April. It hadn't been adjusted again yet, but that's what it says, 266. And listening to commentators today, as I was getting dressed, you might think that we should be disappointed.
The numbers came out at 8:30 a.m. When was this guy getting dressed?
But when we passed the American Rescue Plan, I want to remind everybody, it was designed to help us over the course of a year, not 60 days, a year. We never thought that after the first 50 or 60 days, everything would be fine.
Notice the walking back. First, it was a rapid recovery, all thanks to the American Rescue Plan. You're welcome, America. But now Biden's saying, the plan wasn't designed to initiate a rapid recovery. Come on, man. Pro tip, Joe, don't count your chickens before they hatch. So, why did the jobs number fall short? Well, many critics are pointing to Biden's so-called American Rescue Plan as a main cause. That bill, which Biden signed on March 11th, extended federal unemployment benefits through September 2021 at $300 a week. And that $300 a week is on top of state benefits. So for many people, the incentive to stay home is just too great. I mean, why would you go look for work when you can stay home and play Warzone with your squad and get paid for it?
Do you believe enhanced unemployment benefits had any effect on diminishing a return to work in some categories?
No, nothing measurable.
Of course, many disagree with that assessment, including the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. The disappointing jobs report makes it clear that paying people not to work is dampening what should be a stronger jobs market. The $300 benefit results in approximately 1 in 4 recipients taking home more in unemployment than they earned working. But no, America, nothing measurable. Then, the following Monday, in response to criticism, Biden laid down the law.
We're going to make it clear that anyone collecting unemployment who is offered a suitable job must take the job or lose their unemployment benefits. That's the law.
Nope. According to Julia Pollack, a labor economist at ZipRecruiter, laws requiring unemployment insurance beneficiaries to search for work were suspended because of the health crisis, and only half of states have since reinstated them. And when there are requirements, they're pretty loose. Simply sending in a resume online counts as a valid job search activity.
I know there's been a lot of discussion since Friday's report, that people are being paid to stay home rather than go to work. Well, we don't see much evidence of that.
He doesn't see evidence of it because he's not looking for it.
Tell me you're an employer without telling me you're an employer. I'll go first. 12 confirmed interviews for today. Nobody showed up.
And that's what happens when the government effectively pays people to stay home. In response to this issue, the governor of Arkansas, Asa Hutchinson, decided to end the state's participation in the federal supplemental unemployment program at the end of June, stating, continuing these programs until the planned expiration date of September 4th, 2021 is not necessary and actually interferes with the ability of employers to fill over 40,000 job vacancies in Arkansas. And Governor Hutchinson is right. Overall, unemployment benefits throughout the health crisis have been very generous, but some politicians like Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez disagree and have a different take. If unemployment insurance is greater than wages, the solution is to actually pay a living wage. It's not that the wages are too low, it's just that the unemployment was too high. And of course, AOC isn't considering that on her home turf in New York City, the minimum wage for most employees is $15 an hour. And as I recall, $15 an hour is a living wage, right? But thanks to months and months of generous unemployment benefits, having to work for roughly the same amount or less that you'd receive in unemployment pales in comparison, and that's forcing businesses to try and incentivize workers. Some are offering sign-up bonuses, bonuses for referring other employees, and education benefits. And some have gone to extreme measures. A McDonald's in Tampa, Florida was paying people $50 just to fill out an application and come in for an interview. And then there's the hourly wages themselves. Since the federal unemployment benefits in many states aren't going away anytime soon, many businesses are going to have to raise wages in order to compete with scrolling TikTok all day. And that's why on May 10th, Chipotle announced that their workers' average wage will be increased from $13 an hour to $15 an hour. and you can expect that other chains will follow suit. Now, to economic geniuses like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, this will sound like a great idea. Even if those jobs are low skill and don't warrant a higher wage, businesses should just pay their employees more. I mean, it's just money, right? Well, not exactly, because the extra money needed to pay those workers needs to come from somewhere, and that somewhere comes from raising the prices of goods and services. So now that burger from the dollar menu might now cost $1.29, because it will cost more to process the ingredients, will cost more to pack, cost more to ship, and cost more to cook and assemble. In other words, workers are being paid more, but in turn, their dollars are worth less because goods and services cost more. Those higher prices are effectively canceling out the value of their higher wages. This is called inflation, and thanks to Biden's terrible economic policies, we're gonna see a whole lot of it. And on that sad and sorry note, that's it for now. Be sure to like and subscribe, and hope to see you next time. If there is next time.